Hello world, Shelly here, and today I've got day 2 of Foundation Fest, and today we are going to check out the Hourglass Vanish Stick Foundation. Now, this is a stick foundation, so it comes in a stick, and this is what you get. It is in shade Alabaster, is the shade that I've got, which is not the lightest shade that they have, which... Hello, holla, all you pale skin people. You might be able to actually use this one. Ding, ding, ding. So let's take a look at Sephora's website and see what they have to say about this foundation. It is the Hourglass Vanish Seamless Finish Foundation Stick. It retails for $46. That gets you 0.25 ounces of product. And it comes in a whole bunch of shades. I think 26? Yes, 26 shades. I have this in the shade Alabaster, which is described as fair with a cool undertone. They do have one lighter shade, which is Blanc, very fair with a cool undertone. And there are a couple other shades right around the fair range that have different undertones that you can try out. So that is awesome. I think this is a great color selection. This is described as being medium to full coverage for all skin types with a satin finish. It's a long-wearing foundation stick with the coverage of a concealer, fluidity of a liquid, and the weightlessness of a powder for invisible full coverage. It's a foundation concealer in one. It's a concentrated formula infused with double the amount of pigment versus traditional foundations for instant full coverage in one application. Provides long-wearing, waterproof, 12-hour coverage. Innovative formula adjusts to your body temperature and effortlessly blends into the skin. Some other things. It is formulated without parabens, no sulfates, no phthalates. Awesome. This foundation has almost 3,000 reviews on Sephora's website, and it rates 4 out of 5 stars. So let's take a look at some swatches and see how this foundation compares to other foundations that I've got on this pale end of the spectrum. Swatch time. So here is today's foundation. This is the Hourglass Vanish Stick in shade Alabaster. Second, we have the Estee Lauder Double Wear. This is one of my favorites. This is a really good color match for me, but it's a little tiny bit too dark for me. Now, if you compare that to the Hourglass, it's nice to see that they're approximately the same color, just the Hourglass is a little bit lighter in shade. Third up, I've got the IT Cosmetics CC Plus Cream in Fair, just to show you guys. This is way too yellow toned on me, but it is a good measure of lightness. It works for me light to dark, but little too yellow. Fourth, I've got the Pure Baradol from yesterday's Foundation Fest video. That's in the shade Porcelain. And finally, I've got the Fiona Styles in shade 01. This is the Matte Finish Foundation Concentrate. What's up, Polly? Are you ready to rock? I said, are you ready to rock? So I have already cleansed, moisturized, and primed my face with the Urban Decay Urban Defense Primer. And we are going to go in on one side of my face with the brush, on the other side with a sponge. This is the Artis Oval 7, and this is the Ulta brand beauty sponge. I really like this sponge. And this is the guest of honor, the Hourglass Vanish Stick Foundation in the shade Alabaster. So, let's just draw some stuff on here and go to town, shall we? So I was able to swatch this at Sephora, and I tried out the 3 lightest shades, basically, and I was able to find this is really a pretty good color match for me. At least it was in the store. Now, the lighting, of course, in those stores is fairly terrible, but... Ooh. Super pretty finish on one pass. I would say we are at a solid medium coverage. Like, I can barely see any of my sunspots poking through, yet this really doesn't look heavy at all. That is impressive. Smoothing of texture, barely visible pores, nice blurring going on. with the brush. I am stoked about this foundation. Let's try the other side with a sponge and see if we get the same kind of blending. Right off the bat, I see it's a little harder to blend out because maybe I let the swipes sit on my face for too long, maybe. There it goes. I would say the coverage is quite a bit more sheer with the sponge, but definitely just as pretty. I think I'm getting similar blurring of texture, similar blurring of pores. I'm going to go in with just a little bit more on that side of my face with the brush to kind of try and even this out. This is supposed to be buildable to full coverage. I would say we're pretty doggone close to full as it is. This finish is super, super pretty. It is not settling into lines. It is not settling into pores. It is blurring everything out. My skin looks really nice right now. Nice, right? Let me go put the rest of my face on and I'll be right back. All right, I am back, and so far I love this foundation. I did lightly set it with the Laura Geller Baked Balance and Brighten I just like the look of this. I like the Baked Balance brightening part, I guess. I've got the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer and Physicians Formula Butter Blush in Natural Glow. My concealer, I know this claimed to be a concealer. In a pinch, I think I could use it as a concealer foundation all in one, but I always have purple under eyes, and I'm really liking this IT Cosmetics duo. It is their Bye Bye Under Eye Concealer on one side and a peach-toned brightener, so color corrector for dark circles on the other, and I am enjoying that. I set that with the RCMA No Color Powder. On my eyes, I've got one from the past, the Too Faced Chocolate Bonbons palette. This was my everyday eye look when I had pink hair, and I don't know why I don't dig this palette out more often. It's really fast and easy to work with, and I like it, and it smells so good. And of course, on the lip, I know you're getting sick of this, it's the Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit in Rebel Rose. Rebel Rose for life! Rebel Rose for life! It's just a really great everyday go-to. So, that's where we're at right now. I didn't tell you guys the check-in time, did I? Let's go with 11:45 because when I was finishing my makeup, it was about noon, and so that's probably a little late, but we'll give it the benefit of the doubt. Let's call it 11:45 a.m. is the check-in time. Now, I will be back in a couple hours. I will check in with daylight so you can see a natural light look at the color match of this foundation. Then I'll be back at the end of the night to tell you what I thought. Hey guys, daylight check-in here, and I'm trying to be in the shade. So far so good. You can see this color match. I really, really like it. I think this is a really, really good match for my skin tone. Maybe a little bit too light once summertime hits, but I'm gonna do my doggonedest to not get any kind of tan. So far so good. The finish looks beautiful. I'm not seeing any settling. It's gotten a little bit slightly dewy, so a little more dewy than satin, and we're at about the 6-hour mark right now, so I would say, and I think that's fine. It looks fine. It doesn't look oily in any way. It just looks very nice and glowy like. So far so good. I'm really liking this one. I will check back this evening and let you know my final thoughts. Hello, we are back. It is 11:59 in the PM. So we are at the 12-hour mark. We just crossed that 12-hour mark, and it's been a long time since I've made it to the 12-hour mark on a check-in, but it was approximately the 10-hour mark, and I was falling down a YouTube rabbit hole, and I just thought to myself, well, I might as well just hang in there until the end and get a 12-hour check-in, because A, this claims to be a 12-hour foundation, but B, it's so comfortable. It's like wearing nothing at all. My face is not itchy. I don't feel heavy or nasty or gross. Most of the time by now, I want to run to the bathroom and take my face off and just take all my makeup off. Don't want to wear it that long. I'm done with it. Just get it off my face. So the fact that I didn't have any of those inclinations is to me a really good sign. Now, I'm going to say, I did a bad thing. While I was falling down that YouTube rabbit hole, like I said, I'm not used to wearing my makeup all the way until bedtime if I'm at home and I have nothing to do. I'll take it off, 8, 9 o'clock, and then I'll putz around the house for a couple hours before I go to bed. So I was watching all these YouTube videos, catching up on all the drama, the Eevee Blender drama, and all that great stuff that's going on. And I was sitting there at my desk like this because I totally just forgot that I was wearing makeup and I didn't do my check-in yet. So my chin's a mess. And part of it is because I was watching videos with my chin resting in my hands. I did get a good look at this makeup around the 8-hour mark, and the chin still looked good. So I might have accelerated the problems with the chin. Let's take a look at what we've got going on right now for the 12-hour mark. From a distance, I don't feel like it looks bad. Up close, you can see where things are starting to break down. So my chin is pretty much a mess. It is getting cakey around the bottom of my lips, sort of the bottom of my sides of my chin, that area, the area on the bottom half of my mouth that moves a lot, is looking a little bit cakey and a little bit broken up. Everything around my mouth and around my nose is basically starting to wear off. The bridge of my nose and my actual nose, which usually is one of the first areas to go on me, is not looking too bad. It is starting to wear off, but we are at the 12-hour mark right now, and we're at high allergy season, so I have been touching my nose a bit today. So I'm pretty impressed at how that looks. My cheeks, my face itself still looks pretty doggone good. Go up to the forehead, and I feel like I'm just starting to get breakdown. A little bit of separation, a little bit of breakdown. Not bad, really not bad at all. I think it looks pretty darn good for 12 hours. The only thing that is making me go, is I feel like I look a lot more dewy at the end of the night than I did this morning, and than I'm comfortable with. I'm not a super huge fan of a dewy look. The only settling that I got into lines was my deep chin lines, my fat lines under my chin. It did not settle around my smile lines. It did not settle into the lines on my forehead. So no settling into lines, no settling into pores. Texture still looks especially good on this side. This was the side that I started out with the sponge and ended up with the brush. I don't know if that makes a difference. This is the more, my left side of my face is the more textured side anyway, so I think it did as well as it could working with what I've got. I'm super impressed. I really like this foundation. Every time I saw myself in the mirror, I was like, my skin looks good today. And it's not because my skin got better, it's because this foundation did a really good job. So if I had to give this foundation a grade, I am going to go solid mid A. This comes in a ton of shades. It wore really well. I think it lives up to its claims. I think it works beautifully for dry skin. This feels lovely. Holy coverage Batman for a single pass, very lightweight. Doesn't settle into lines, doesn't settle into pores, helps to blur out texture, helps to blur out pores. Really good color match, tons of colors to choose from. Yeah, it's good. I like it. So there you go, my thoughts on the Hourglass Vanish Seamless. Messed up all the words. Foundation. Yes, love it. If you would like to see more foundation reviews, give me a thumbs up and let me know what foundations you would like to see me cover. If I've done a foundation in the past and you would like to see my updated opinion on it, give me some ideas there too, because I was thinking of doing some second chance videos for foundations that didn't go over so well the first time, but maybe I have found ways to make them work. So if you want to see that, let me know as well. Thanks as always for taking some time out of your day to geek out over makeup with me. I appreciate it, and I hope you all have an awesome day or night wherever you are in the world. Take care of each other. Bye-bye.